Welcome, Algedy speaking, and welcome back to some Civilization World Cup highlights. This time, we're bringing you back the semifinals, a match between the Phillyboys, who fought very hard to get their spot in the semifinals against PP Patrol, which were technically the favorite to win. Two great teams, a lot of action, so let's just jump straight into it. It was a Pangea map, and I remind you this is a BO1, and so the winner would actually ascend to the finals directly. It was a very important match, originally casted by this story in French. A lot of action, and you can see that on the left side there were like long branches of land with two players is on that side, but most of the action actually happened on the right, where most of the players spawned, with most of the sea states as well in the center. There was no way to cross the ocean north or south for the boats, so it was a relatively standard Pangea on that sense. And you can see already the spawn from Maori here toward Red for the Phillyboys on that side, which will face Sam from PB Patrol team here. This is the major standoff for the game, so we'll keep an eye on this. Here we have Bob Dole playing Korea against Jack the Ripper as well. There's some choke points, but we'll keep an eye also on what's happening on that side. Be sure that we know what's going to on as well. So you'll see as well, there's a lot of room everywhere for most of the players, but there was still Egypt here, played by Ben here for the People Patrol team as well. So he was relatively in a good and safe position if he wanted to be. To his left, there was Canada, actually played for Phillyboys this time by Almog, and finally the Mapuche was played by PP Patrol for Falcon, right on top on the branch for the lands here. The last player was Red Phoenix playing Gorgo, which was pretty much isolated all the way north, not close to any player really. You'll try to have an impact, but you'll see, unfortunately, you won't have much. And right from the beginning, we see one envoy put in Nazca to get an early Pantheon from Tordred. And along with some nice positioning war, we'll see that Tordred actually take the lead around the Matotipila to get his first city out quicker, and also try to get the position and delay the settle for Sam here. And so already from the beginning, the war was starting, and the third settle from Tordred will actually manage to secure part of the Matotipila as well. Although this being said, Sam will manage to get the general, which actually will stabilize the front. So even though the Toas were not there were a lot of archers on part of Maori, so it was very hard for Sam to deal with this, but he did an amazing job on that side. Jack the Ripper here managed to get the zone out Korea, but not much action really in the early game. I'm going to show you a few images, like here we see Falcon on the Mapuche. We can see Ben taking Vilnius, early city state in the game as well, to get an extra city, and an early religion rushed as well for Canada. We see Tordred actually made a few horses as well to take Nazca himself to get the holy set in the new city as well. And that was pretty much most of the action beside the war on the right side. Very interesting though, a race for the Oracle between Red Phoenix and Ban. It was really short because it went for one chop. It was a reflex game. Whoever was chopping first would get the Oracle. And finally, Ben managed to get the Oracle. So to secure a little bit this sim for the cultural victory setup, it was a minor victory for Ben here for Egypt. The front here, as you can see from Mongolia, was restabilized. There was not much to do. Front between Canada and Mapuche was non-existent to that point. So most of the action was really on the right side between Maori and Sam. And we can see here a double eruption for a volcano actually helped out a lot the Korean player. So that was a very good helper for the Phillyboys. After Nazca, we also see Tordred deciding to swim his horses to the other side of the map to try to annoy the Falcon. We'll get back to it once they reach there as well. And we also see an interesting decision here from Korea, who went from mass settlers to try to settle as much land as possible. And it actually really paid off, and along with El Cid, which was a very critical general for him to get for his time in Wacha, it was getting very dangerous because, unfortunately, even though there was a forward settle from Jack the Ripper here, it was really not enough to put enough pressure on Korea to prevent him from coming as well help for Sam on the Greece here. We saw some crossbows actually arriving from the Maroon on the other side, while the crucial sim up from Ben was being put into place. Red Phoenix was trying to as well get his own sim up and try to counter the cultural victory here. That was mostly his role. And here we see finally the horses getting on the Falcon here with one horse as well from Canada. Even though there were not many units, there was a very good reaction from Falcon, which managed to basically negate the effect. There was a few tiles pillage overall, because it did not have the units when their horses arrived, but really little damage was done. So really well played by PP Patrol and Falcon here, who managed to fend off entirely this surprise attack. Let's go back on the Maori front where the crossbows are going to happen here very soon along the Toas. Very good war moves from Sam, but it was just a little bit too much. Like Toas and crossbows, it was very hard to defend. So he was losing ground unit after unit. It was getting very, very difficult. So now the PP Patrol team was put on a timer as well. And the Watchers actually got out as well for Korea, which was coming to help out against Sam. So it was very difficult, and Mongolia really couldn't reach them, unfortunately for them. He tried, he got a few units, to control the chokes, but it was just too defensive for Korea, unfortunately. So in this situation, Sam was slowly losing ground, and Phillyboys overall had a very strong structure, so it was very difficult to break them. So they had to find some sort of solution to try to get the lead back. And this is when Falcon decided to go for Carol, actually, a late switch to a Caravel timing to try to annoy the Maroon on the other side of the map. Red Phoenix was scouting in case some horses were coming his way, nothing was coming his way. Canada decided to get some privateers to control the small sea between him and Egypt as well, just to be entirely sure it would be safe. But even though all that was being done, Sam actually fell. It officially became a 3 versus 4, favoring the Phillyboys, which was a pretty good blow, big blow for the opposing team here. A small attempt from the Mapuche to try to break the position from Canada. Unfortunately, not enough units. It didn't pay off much. It was all about the Caravels, which actually did an amazing job here, but Tordred, just in time, got some boats out, some units out, and managed to get these Caravels just in time to be able to perform an amazing defense here. So once the defense was put down, just a 3 versus 4, it was very hard for PP Patrol to actually constantly play this game. And this is how they actually decided to concede the game to Phillyboys, making them the winners of the semifinals to face off the next finals in the semifinals. If you liked it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and so on. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time.